Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Shook, host of the Undrafted Outlaws Sports Show. Man, listen, if you want some real down south, Louisiana-style Cajun food, you need to go check out DB's Cajun Kitchen. Yo, they got lobster and grits, seafood boils, signature fries, signature po' boys, signature egg rolls, and desserts. Oh, and my favorite, them gumbo tacos. Yo, they open from 11 to 8, Wednesday to Monday, 7 to 5:30 on Sunday. Located in North Las Vegas at 4343 North Rancho Drive. They even have to-go orders and catering. Hit them up, 725-780-1850, or go to the website, dbcajunkitchen.com. So, yo, don't just tell your friends about me. Tell them about DB's Cajun Kitchen.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Yeah. Jones, hey, Greg Deville was at it, man, hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help.
All right, it's Friday afternoon. Today is Thursday. Las Vegas, we're live on the air right now, 702.5fm.com. It's Greg Deville. Welcome to the Greg Deville Let's Talk Real Estate Show. We want to talk about some real estate experiences that's happening right now for the first-time buyer. We have an opportunity for you. Watch this. $29,000 has just gotten approved for every first-time buyer. $29,000 towards your down payment and closing costs. Now, you have to get pre-approved. Many of you have called, and I want to appreciate you first. And those of you that have given referrals, let me thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, I had someone call me the other day, said, Deville, I got a man, he's looking, he wants to get involved in the home ownership. He said, this is the question that he had. He says, can I give him your phone number? I want to ask you, could you do me a favor? Could you please give them my number? If you know me and you have my personal number, feel free. I give it to 10,000 listeners a week on radio. 2 different radio shows. It's probably 30,000 a week. 702-349-0162, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, the name you need to know right here in the Valley. This is what we do. We help first-time buyers. By the way, engineer, we have been radioing 8 years now. It's been wonderful, man. And we have been able to help thousands. I want to say probably nearly 10,000. Because what I realized is some of you have bought homes from the new home building. You didn't tell me. So I didn't get to count those, but I'm gonna count at least 3,000 of those, because there's a lot of people out there bought homes that just heard me on radio. Look, my job is to empower, to encourage, and to enlighten you, to push you towards your vision of homeownership. Listen, it can be attained. 702-349-0162, Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. This is what we do. I've been in real estate over 35 years. I do real estate. I sell real estate. I buy real estate. I flip real estate. I'm everything real estate. That's what I do. So I want to help you get involved. Can I do that? 702-349-0162. That's my personal direct contact. Now, I just got a call from a lender today. He said, listen, there is some new product available that you can get a 1% program. 1% down. Now, 1% down is like $4,000. 1%. Now, if you got a tax refund coming back, here's what I want you to understand. With your tax refund, use that money this year. Let's get your credit on track, right? Let's do what we need to do there. Because many of you have been promising yourself and promising your children and promising your loved ones, but most of all to yourself. Do yourself a favor this year. Come through with the come through on the come up. Get your own keys, because what I'm getting phone calls about right now are families having to relocate because the landlord decided to sell the home. And when he does, you got to go. Unless he can find an investor who's willing to pay the cash price he wants, which is probably not going to happen because every cash investor wants a deal and every seller wants the max available profit. So he's not willing to give a deal because he can't get the max profit. You see where I'm going here? So at the end of the day, most of you will have to relocate. Let me help you get out of that wondering if you're going to sell this year. Or is it? Because here's the deal. Even if he were to find an investor, the rent's going to go up. You will not. I know you've been paying $1,500 a month for that 4-bedroom. It's going up $1,900, $2,100 straight up, because that's what they're worth now. A 4-bedroom is worth $1,900 to $2,300. They're out there and people are paying it. You know why? Because they have to. Now, if you have low rent right now, don't be surprised. 2024, there may be an increase once your lease has expired. They cannot increase your rent once you're in a lease. Now, let me say this to you. If you have to lease, get into a 2-year lease. Lock them in at whatever that number is. Because landlords today are trying not to, watch this, they're trying not to even sign a 1 year. They want to have a 6-month lease. Because that means 6 months they can reevaluate and say, I want to increase it again. And you know why they do it? Because they can. And there's no regulation as to them being able to increase. They can go at $500, $600. The average has been $350. The average has been $350. So when you were accustomed to paying $17, $18, you're going up to $22, $23. And then you got the car note, probably got 2 car notes, the car insurance, right? And hopefully the kids got uniforms at school. They don't need new clothes because the clothes, man, they be talking about, I need new clothes. I wore this already. What? I be wanting mine in uniform school. So my grandson, he in the uniform school. Like, yeah, I'll buy you 5 uniforms. I'll get you 10, right? They're going to last you all year long. He wears a 5, I'll be buying 6 and 7s. Cuff him, boo. Cuff him. Put a belt on. Because the boy's going to grow, right? Long as he's in school. But these are the things that we have to be realistic about. And the reality is, here's where we are in the market. If we don't make a move, the landlord will. And just so you understand, when you pay rent, you're paying a mortgage. FYI, you're paying a mortgage. You're just paying somebody else's mortgage. So let me put you in the game so that you can be the pilot and you can fly this aircraft. And I'm going to give you the money down towards your down payment and your closing costs. It's a no-brainer. 702-349-0162. This is the name you got to hit. You got to get with Greg Deville. Team Deville. Look, big shout out to the team. No man is an island. My team helps me get it done. We are closing deals. We are making it happen. And listen, we're out here competing with maybe about 12,000 other realtors. But because we've been favored to do this. And with radio and social media and the referral-based business that you all give me, thank you, man. Let me appreciate you telling your family and your friends, contact Deville. I've been in the game. This is what I do. I live to do this. I live to do radio. I've been doing this a long time. When I was in high school, I was the high school DJ. So I've been having headphones on for a long time with glasses. That's right. It's my look. Greg Deville, live on the air. But today, I'm empowering the community to get wealth through equity. And not only that, but it's generational wealth. I recently sold, it's probably been about 8 or 9 months ago, a home to a family. And when I gave her the keys on that Thursday night, she had a tear in her eye. And she said, thank you, Mr. Deville, because you helped me to break the generational curse that my family has walked in. No one has owned a home in my family for 2 generations. 2 generations. That means her mother and her grandmother didn't own a home. And she's breaking that curse. And now she can show her children the value of having your own. Because when the landlord tells you got to move, you got to go to the kids. Well, y'all, we got to move. Why we got to move? I like my friends. I like my school. You may not find a house in that school area. Because why? The values have gone up where the rents are. You know why? Because they can. And so let me lock you into a house. Now, once you get this house, it's not going to be your dream home, partner. Listen, it's not going to be your dream home. It's going to be the house you rent, not your dream home. It's not even yours. But guess what? You making it do. It might be 3-4 bedroom. Maybe you can't really afford a 5-bedroom, but you could do with a 4. Maybe you can't afford a 4 and you got to get a 3. But guess what? Home ownership is real. And that's what I want to empower you for. And with, it's home ownership, creating wealth through equity. It's what the landlord is doing, and you're paying into his wealth portfolio. So when you pay his money, here, let me map it out for you. So what the landlord did, he bought that house. That was his first home. So when he bought the house, he stayed there 3, 4, maybe 5 years. He built enough equity because you could take out up to 80%. He built up enough equity and he took that 80%, which might have been 60, 80,000, and he bought another house. And then he decided, I'm going to get me a tenant to rent this house and pay this mortgage. And then I'm going over here and I'm going to pay my mortgage. So technically, he's got 2 mortgages. You're paying one and he's paying the other one. But guess what? He can refinance it at any time and don't have to get your permission. So here's what I'm saying. Why don't you start now? You getting ready to get a tax refund. So why don't you do this? Contact my office. Well, no, my cell. Today I'm giving out my direct cell. Contact my cell, 702-349-0162. Contact me directly. Here's what I want to do. I want to set you with one of my preferred lenders. I got about 8 or 9 of them. I want to let you meet with them, do an application, see where you qualify. And then based on where you qualify is how much buying power you have. So first step is not just seeing me. It's calling me. It's contacting me. I'm your first contact. Then I'm going to steer you where you need to go so that you can get involved in the loan process. Okay, because that's really where you need to be. But I need to speak with you to get your information so that I can find, like veterans. If you're a veteran, I got certain veteran lenders over here that, 4 or 5 of those. And then I got 4 or 5 over here that are traditional, FHA, conventional. I got some hard money lenders. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, I've got some lenders can do bank statements. So what does that mean, Deville? So if you're an entrepreneur, let me use for an example, you're a nail tech. Well, every dime you make doing nails, I know a lot of time it's a cash business, but even your Cash App, you deposit that into your account every week. Now, I know you got to pay a bill, but I need you to deposit that first. You can take it out and pay a bill, but the bank statements have to show your deposits. Because the lender is going to base your portfolio, your income on your deposits, right? Because that shows what you make. Okay, now that we've established that, I need you to pay your bills. I need you to stop letting things go in delinquent. You can pay it on the 29th. You just can't let the first come around. Like if your credit card, you can pay the late penalty, but don't let the first hit of the next month. You have to pay it by midnight of the 30th so that they're not reporting a late on the credit card. They're reporting a 30-day late on the credit card. So don't get the 30-day late. Huh? I tell people all the time, well, thank you, Vicky. Appreciate you. You've got to stay on top of your credit, because if you want to make sure that you're buying your own home and stop paying that man's mortgage. You've been renting long enough. If you do the math, I don't have my calculator. If you did the math of how much you pay at $1,800 a month, and you've been there 3 years, 3 years at $1,800 a month. So $1,800 a month times 12 months. You paid $64,000. Thank you, Ms. Engineer. $64,800 to a landlord. Now that's $64,000. Guess what? Off of his principal. And he don't even say thank you. That's just 3 years you've been staying there. Now guess what? Maybe you've been there longer. I'm telling you right now, this is a good time to make a move. And listen, let Deville be the one to guide you in the direction. Now I'm gonna tell you now, you don't procrastinate like you've been doing with this tax refund. And before you do your taxes, before you file taxes, I want to hear from you, because some of you are filing taxes and shooting yourself in the foot. You can't claim everything right now. You can always go back and amend, but I need you to show an increase that you're making money to qualify for more. So those are some things if you're thinking about it this year, if you're really serious with yourself and you want to do something different, 702-349-0162. Contact Greg Deville. I want to hear from you personally. I want my phone to ring off the hook like it did last week, so that we can get you a head start on your tax return. Because you did it last year. You meant to call me, and you did the very thing you said you weren't good. I mean, besides, you just had Christmas, right? I mean, and be careful right now too, because if you buy a car, you out of luck for buying a house for another year. So don't take your taxes and buy a car. I know you need a car. I know you press, but let's get you the house first. Let the car hold on. Fix the alternator. Get a battery. Tune it up. Put some plugs in it. Get you a set of tires on it. Hold on, because in the next 2 months you could have keys to a house. That's right. I said 2 months. There's some programs out there, 1 year, 9 months. Listen, work with Deville. Get you approved. I close a deal in 30 days. I'm going to say it again for somebody questioning what I just said. You get approved, I can close a deal in 30 days. Meaning I can get you your keys to your own house. And you could say, bye-bye, Mr. Landlord. Right? And if you got a Land Rover and a landlord, you need to call me. If you got a Benz and a landlord, you need to call me. You need to holler at me. This if you're driving that new Charger with the dual exhaust, you need to. If you're parking that at an apartment building, Land Rovers and landlords, they don't go together. You really need to call me, because somewhere there's a problem here. This don't add up. I should not ride through an apartment building to go visit my daughter and see Chryslers and Chargers and Benzes and Rovers sitting in parking lots at apartment buildings. Why? You making money? You listen. Okay, so maybe your down payment money ain't right now, Deville. They ain't, man, I ain't, it's a little tight. Guess what? I got the money. The government gave me I got left $1.1 million. And then I'm expecting my pot to replenish in April with another 20 to 30 million allocated for down payment to help minority families get into home ownership. That's right. These monies are allocated for that. And if we don't use it, we lose it. And so I'm asking, I'm pleading, I'm begging you. If you know somebody got a job, they've been on it longer than 2 years, or even if they transferred and they're still in the same line of work, you can qualify. And if they got a job and they got a 401k, I could get them a home with a low 600. 600 if you got a 401k on your job. Somebody just said, I didn't know that. And guess what? Here's the killer part of it. You've been borrowing money from your 401k over the years and being charged a 10% penalty. But watch this. To buy a house using your 401k, there is no penalty. And people all the time say, wow, I didn't know. That's why the Greg Deville Show is here. It's to empower and educate you on how to make the move into home ownership and start creating your wealth. The wealth building experience is now. You're building wealth already. You're empowering wealth right now. You're creating generational wealth right now. You're creating wealth through equity right now. You're just doing it for the landlord. So now if Deville's on the radio saying, look, I got to hook up for you to get the money down, get the closing costs. I am the man. You know what they call me in the real estate game? Deville is the closer. I'm a closer deal. I ain't playing with you. This is what I do. This is real. Now, there's some cats out here, they just looking at making money. No, I'm looking at making keys because the money going to come. Money chasing me. But I'm about getting you those keys because if I get you the keys, it's going to be a check in the mail. It'll be a check wired to the account. That's not what I'm chasing. What I'm chasing is helping you get your dream. Because if I can get your dream, I'm going to get paid. Right? That's my whole goal is to empower you to generational wealth. You've been renting too long. You've been too long paying another man's mortgage, moving here, moving there. You got nice automobiles, but you paying somebody else's mortgage. Where they do that at? You got to stop now because you've been exposed to information. That's what Deville is about. Deville is about giving you the information to empower you to do better. Now, if you don't do something with it, you're bad. Right? I give it to you, but what you going to do with it? I can put it out there, but what you going to do with it? So if you want to do something about it, I got $1.1 million left in this fund. And if I don't use the funds, I lose the funds. There's going to be some more allocated, but let's use this money. It's enough to help 29 more families. Somewhere in that number, 29 more families. It's up to $29,000 per household. When you going to call? 702-349-0162. Greg Deville. That's my direct number. Listen, call me directly because it's now the time. It's tax season. People are going around and, hey, they just spinning their wheels, go to work every day to pay another man's mortgage. Like, dude, and then homeboy sell the house. Are you serious? He sells the house and what you got to go find somewhere. And do you know, man, this is the crazy part. Is I've been looking at these landlords or these property managements now. I had a lady, I had to sell her house because she was losing it in foreclosure. So if you got a foreclosure, I can help you. Look, but I got her $140,000 working with Deville. The bank was going to take it. But guess what? I was able to save her $140,000 in that equity. We sold a house. We got the best price we could get. Cash money, closing 20 days. And got her $140,000. Now, but the properties we were looking at, these property managements had the nerve to want a 650 credit score. Bro, I could get you a house with a low 600. The property, so what am I saying? It's that it's more difficult now to rent. And hopefully if you're a veteran, man, let me give you a story. This brother, man, his family getting bigger. He had a little 2-bedroom. He needed more space. He said, Deville, I'm only going to be here for about another year. He said, but my wife is having a new baby. We really need a little more space. This 2-bedroom is a little difficult. So what we think we're going to do is, because I'm going to be deployed in another year, but we don't want to stay in this condition for the year. He said, so I'm going to sell my townhouse and then I'm going to go rent a house for a year. Okay. So, okay. All right. I said, well, here's the funny part. I said, well, the deposit to rent could be upward of $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 to rent. And you're a veteran. It's no money out of pocket. So why would you rent when you can pay nothing? And sure enough, he went out there and he looked at some rentals and he found out they wanted $4,800 to rent a house. He was going to rent a 4-bedroom house. It was going to cost him $4,800. And I said, guess what? We sell this house. You can use your VA. The next day, he went and bought another house. Just because guess what? He walked away with a good $80,000, $90,000 equity, right? And bought another house using the VA with no money down. So if you're a veteran, even though you may have used your VA certificate before, you can use it again. I know a lot of people say, man, I didn't know I could do that. Nobody told me. But that's why Greg Deville been empowering the community 8 years on radio. Maybe this your first time. You ain't been hearing your boy. But this is the information, the reason I've been 8 years, 2 different shows, 3 different days of the week, is to empower the community, to say, man, if you didn't know, now you know what you're going to do with it. 702-349-0162. I want to hear from you. It's imperative that if you're a veteran and you're renting, you have a no money down program at your disposal. What are you waiting for? I know you used it before and you lost the house. Maybe they foreclosed, deed in lieu, short sold it, what have you. It's a new day, baby. Forgive yourself. Let that go. Call your boy. Let's talk about it. Let's walk you through the program. Now, husband and wives, if you're legally married, they have to run the husband and wife together. Okay? Now, if you make enough money to carry it, you can just buy it in your name. But, of course, two of you gives more buying power. But at this point, you're a veteran and you renting? Let me give you another example. So there was a veteran who moved to, he was deployed here from another state. I forget where he came from, Latino guy. And he happened to hear my other radio station. And he bought a house. He was deployed. He bought a house while he was here. And I think he stayed like 3 years. This happened like 5 or 6 years ago. He stayed here like 3 years. And he called me back. He said, Mr. Deville, he says, I'm being deployed to New Mexico. I think that base out there or something. He was going to another state. So, in the military, you know how they deploy. And so he said, I'm going to have to sell the house. Do you know he walked away with $68,000 and he went and used his VA in New Mexico? That's how the VA works. So you can get another loan the next day once you get it. You can't have two in the same. You know what I mean? Because you got to be owner occupied. So you can't use your VA to buy another house. You have to live in the house, right? Now, let's say you're going to buy another state and you just live, but those are extenuating circumstances that maybe a lender might, but rarely do we see that. Most lenders, you use your VA, you have to own or reside there. And if you move on, then you can sell it. The very next day, you can close. I've closed deals the next day on a VA house. We sold it today, opened up, closed the next one. The next day, he got the keys. Gave keys and got keys. But that's what your boy do. Look, that's what I do, baby. I give keys. Keys. That's what we do. Greg Deville, 702-349-0162. Go to my YouTube channel, Greg Deville. Go to my Facebook, Greg Deville. Go to Google, Greg Deville. You can find me. My information is right there. We got to talk about advantages that are available for you. You can't sleep on this. You got to make a move. You got to change. I don't know how else to tell you. Now, I've talked about the buyers. Let me go to you sellers. You guys who have a house, but maybe you're in default. Now, listen, you're not the first. You won't be the last, right? Now, sometimes they'll give you a modification. Sometimes they won't. It depends on your track record. If you have a history of being late, you have a history of going to default and coming out, and you may not get accepted into the modification program. The forbearance program is over, right? That ended like last year or so, right? Where they would forgive you because of the situations of COVID. But now the modification is still up and running, but not everyone gets approved. So what are you going to do? Deville, I'm 3-4 months behind. Okay, what you going to do? Now, once you get 120 days, which is 4 months, you get 120 days, you very well can get a notice with a sale date. Now, I want you to watch out for that sale date, because the sale date means when that date comes, the auction will sell your home and you have no power. So what happens is, what we like to term is a pre-foreclosure sale. This is what I specialize in as well. Pre-foreclosure sale, meaning we could sell. I just told you I got one lady $140,000. Now, because her credit was jacked up, right, from missing those mortgage payments and almost going into foreclosure, I knocked on the door one day because I get a list. So the reason you're getting phone calls, because it's a public record. We get a list of people who are in foreclosure. I know you just haven't heard from me yet, but if you're on the list, I'll probably get to you. But I have a team. That's all they do is call foreclosures. And if you're on foreclosure list, you're getting calls anyway. All these unknown numbers. Yeah, a lot of them people, are you trying to sell your home? Can I give you a cash offer and close in 3 days, 5 days, 10 days? Right? Now, if you're an HOA, you can't close sooner than 10 days. Right? Because you got to get the HOA resale package. And they want you to get at least 10 days for that. Right? So, again, more information than you need to know. Just call me and I'm going to help you understand how to get into selling your home, saving your equity. Now, if the bank forecloses, hear me good. If the bank forecloses, they tell me. Now, I had an attorney on my show. She said they're supposed to give you any proceeds left over, but it may take 6 months, 2 years to finally get all that to you. Deville can get you that in 30 days. Because if it's going to be $100,000 in 6 months to a year, you might as well sell it now, and I can get you the $100,000 now. Why wait? Why wait for them to put you out, knock on your door at your house, and put a notice on the door? This property has been sold at auction, and now they're giving you an eviction notice. Now, with the eviction notice, watch out, because that becomes, you don't want to get involved with an eviction, okay? Don't miss those court dates. But look, we can avoid all that drama if you would settle down your pride and say, look, Deville does this kind of work. I ain't here to embarrass you. I'm here to help you to save the best price of equity you can get. This is what I do. There's a lot of people out there talking the game. Listen, they may know what to do. The fact is, I don't know them. You know me. You've been hearing me for 8 years. It's not about who you are, your business. It's about getting the job done. Now, I know people in my community call over these white realtors, and they don't spend no money back in our community. They take that money, and then guess where they go? They go right to their own community. The agents go to their community. Listen, here's a brother doing the same. They have no monopoly. Hear me good. They have no monopoly on this real estate. It's the same by law. You ain't no smarter than nobody else. We all took the same test. Hello. And basic real estate is still the same. I put it on the market. Somebody writes an offer. You accept it. We close the deal. Same thing the white boy do. Same thing the agents do. They ain't got no monopoly on this. Why you think they ice get colder? But you got a brother who spends money in our community, use our local radio stations to keep supporting the businesses in our community. But you giving money to other communities, you ain't giving back. You in trouble. You won't call me. Because I don't know what I'm saying. No, look. Time out. End of the day, look, this is what I do. I help families in trouble. If you in trouble, holler at your nephew. Say, look, well, I'm almost 60 now. I might be your uncle. But holler at Unc. Let Unc help you out, bro. Don't keep tripping on, man, I don't know about... but we go give our money to other people like they ice. I already said that, but they ice get colder. End of the day, they talking about you and saying there's realtors in their own community and they call us. You ought to hear some of the conversations I hear in the back rooms. Well, why do you think that is, Mr. Deville? Your office is in North Las Vegas and we're in Summerlin. They call us to come and sell in your neighborhood. I said, you know what? I don't even have an answer for that behavior. Because the people in Summerlin ain't calling us in North Las Vegas to come sell their house. They're not calling us. I got a Henderson office. People in Henderson ain't looking up a black real estate company. They looking at some of the big boys over there. And guess what? They do the same thing. They use the market value to say this is what the value's worth. They do a CMA, which is a comparative market analysis. This is what it's worth, and this is what you could possibly get. And then at the end of the day, the appraiser comes through. He appraises it. If it's good, he'll give it value. If it's not, he'll say, here's what my recommendation of value is. It don't change because a black man or a white or an Asian or a brown person. It doesn't change. So why you think that does? Why don't we support one another? I don't get it. But it's Black History Month. Maybe we could do something like that. Maybe we could say, you know what? I'm losing my house anyway. Let me let Deville get me out of this. Because I ain't call nobody's name. I may use examples, but you know what I'm talking about. Because it's not about your name. It's about helping somebody else in your same situation. Somebody who's in the process, they 3 or 4. I'm telling you right now, there's nobody telling you, like I'm on radio telling you, within 120 days, your house can go on the auction block. So I'm recommending that you read your mail. I know you see that bank letter or that letter that doesn't have an address on it. You better open it, especially if you're 30, 60, 90 to 120 days behind in your mortgage. You might want to open that letter. Stop stacking them up. Say, man, I don't want no more bad news. This one you might want to know. After 90 days, anything come, open that up. Because there may be a sale date. Now, if you got a sale date, I can get a postponement of sale. See, this ain't what they telling you. I can get you a postponement of sale that we could possibly sell the home. But we got to be in contract. So you don't have time to waste. If you're already 90 days, if you're 60, this is a good time to get started. 30, perfect time. If you don't see yourself getting out of trouble, then this might be the time to say, let me go and get with Deville now. Say, hey, Deville, can you come meet me, man? I'm having this little issue. Listen, those of you that having divorce matters, if you're going through a divorce, you got to sell the house or you got to buy that person out. And unless you got 30, 40, 60,000, you're going to have to sell it to give them their half. So that if that's the case, I'll get you the best price possible, close it as soon as possible. But this is what Deville does. This is what I do. I help families. If you're just a regular renter, you got a job, you need to buy, I can get you down payment and assistance. If you got a 401k, we can use that money. Why use your money if you can qualify for a grant, right? There's a lot of college doctors who've gone to college and used the grant. Successful today. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're poor. It doesn't belittle you. No, it's something that's available. It's based on a FICO score, credit history, debt ratio, and that you have, those basic requirements. 2 years minimum on the job, at least, right? At least for the programs, at least a 620, right? Tax returns for the last 2 years. Boom. All the other stuff, you got those basic essential ingredients. We baking the cake, baby. It's about to it's swelling up. You looking good. We just need to know how much can you purchase. If you're in trouble with your mortgage and you're behind, let's talk about some of the opportunities that are available. Now, I'm working on a short sale deal, and that's rare to find, but short sale means you owe more than it's worth. Most of you guys have equity today. If you bought longer than 3 years ago, the likeliness is you have some equity in the house, even if it's $40,000, $60,000, $80,000. You have equity if it's longer than 3 years. Now, if you just bought in the last few years, 2020, those years, well, homes went up and down, so it might be risky, right? But if you bought before 2020, your chances look pretty good. So if you know you're behind, you don't have a way to get out of it, right? You don't have an answer with the court, with the mortgage company is asking for, you might have to go ahead and consider. Let's do what we got to do. Hey, Deville, how much can I walk away? I just got a lady. I just got this lady 280. I just found out yesterday. I got her $286,000. I sold her house. She just got $286,000. Well, she passed away. She was elderly, but her best friend who inherited the property, we sold it, and she inherited $286,000. But that's the equity in the house, right? The lady never refinanced. So if you never refinanced your house, you want now here's an example. Let's say you have that 280 and you don't need as large of a house, or you maybe need a larger house, but you have the equity in your house. You can use that 280 and put it on another house once you sell this house. Or now that's on a 100% equity, right? That's 100%. Or if you say, you know what, I'm going to rent this house, you can get 80% of that 280. So now 80% of that it's 286. 80% of that 286, how much would that be? Can you show me that, Miss Engineer? 80% of 286,000, because that's what she received. She received a check of 286,000, and let's say you got equity, so you can get 228,000 if you have that kind of equity. So what could you do with 228,000? What could you do? Well, you could put it down. You could put 150,000 on a new house or another house. That's if you're going to go, with a refi and keep this house. So if you had this house longer than 5, 6, 7 years, your payments are probably good. You probably have low interest rates. So you can rent that house, right? You can rent that house and let it cover the mortgage. And they'll probably give you $300-400, probably pay a car note for you or something, with your tenant. Because now rent can be up to $2,600, right? So most mortgages, when we own our homes, they're really not that high. If you bought them, beyond 2018, 2016, back in those days, if you have not refinanced. Now, some of us have refinanced and taken money out, but still, we got a good $220,000 in equity, but 80% of that. But if I sell it, we can get the whole 100. So she got the whole 286,000. No, 296, because it was almost 300. 296,000, which is good. Now these are the advantages you get when you own it. But watch this. Let me flip the script on you. The landlord that you've been paying that mortgage on sells the house, calls you up, They don't even have nerve to call you. They had a property management call you, send you a notice. The owner decided to sell. So he ain't even got to deal with you. He make the management do it, do the dirty work. You've been paying this man rent for 4 or 5 years, and now you want to sell. But guess what he found out? He got $290,000 in equity. He said, man, I could sell that house. Or he may decide, like the engineer just showed me on that 286, let's say he got $226,000 that he was able to refinance the house. And so his mortgage may go up $400. What did he do? He went up on your rent. So when the landlords went up on your rent, you know why? Because he refinanced the house. He just took that $220,000 out. And guess what he's depending on you to do? He's going to go up on the rent. He's going to depend on you to pay it. How long are we going to keep this vicious cycle going? When you got Greg Deville telling you, look, there's some opportunities available. Let's make it happen. There's some possibilities that we can make possible. Let's make it happen. Look, my time is far spent, you guys. I hope I've shared something I can help. Don't forget, we have the Wealth Mindset Conference Las Vegas 2024, April 6th and 7th. We're excited to move forward. We look forward to, if you got sponsorship, you guys got some funding out there. We're soliciting your sponsorship, vendor support. Listen, this is going to be our second annual Wealth Mindset Conference, Las Vegas. We have president of the NAACP, president of the Urban Chamber of Commerce. We have the president, Shondell Newsom. We have, the president of Grits Cafe. Oh, Miss Trina Giles herself. And we have the captain of the Chef Jeff Project. He was just with Vice President Kamala Harris. A few weeks ago, she was in town. I saw him. They were at he's our keynote speaker. Come and hear this story this brother has that will encourage you that there's nothing impossible. From tragedy to triumph. That's what we're going to talk about. So listen, the April 6th and 7th, the Wealth Mindset Conference Las Vegas is going to be held at the beautiful Red Rock Resort. Our second annual is going down, but we need your support. Tickets are merely $108. We need your support. It's going to be off the chain crazy. You're going to love it. You're going to be glad you did. It's going to be so much information when we talk about the Wealth Mindset Conference in Las Vegas. Too many times we fly across town to go to a conference. We have it right here in our backyard. So now you can go to Red Rock. We have rooms available that you can purchase a room. You could stay there with us and just go downstairs. Oh, man, if you haven't been to Red Rock for an event, it's always beautiful, man. So don't forget, April 6th and 7th. Call me for more information at 702-349-0162. That's right, the Wealth Mindset Conference, Las Vegas. We have a wonderful Dr. Sonia Sheltonham. Oh, man, talking about walking in that destiny, that purpose that's for your life. And how to discern your destiny and your purpose. What does that look like? How do I know what my purpose is? Come find out. Come listen from the experts. Come learn what you need to know. We are excited. We are on fire, and we want to see it happen. We need your support to make it happen. So go to Eventbrite, look for Wealth Mindset Conference Las Vegas. Go to our website, wealthmindsetconference.com. Listen, this event is sponsored by For All Families Community Development Corporation. And listen, Deville Realty Group, we are excited to make it the second annual, and we believe it's going to be even greater than before. So look, I've got to get out of here, make room for the other show that's coming behind me. I look forward to speaking with you really, really soon, like next Thursday at 3 o'clock. How about that? Listen, for any information in real estate, the Wealth Conference, don't forget Deville Solar Marketing. I put solar on my home. I haven't gotten a bill since. Let me show you how to stop getting envy. I wish there was a way we can stop getting gas bills, because my gas bill went up to $580. I'm like, what? I told my daughter, y'all gonna have to put more blankets on your bed, put some socks on your feet. I'm like, it's the same gas. It's the same house. I know in the wintertime, I normally pay like $130. Summertime, I pay like $30. So I said, okay, go up $100 in the winter. It went $450 in the winter, like overnight. Like crazy. So I'm hoping that something can come up that but in the meantime, at least I'm saving on the NV Energy. So I've got solar in my home. I love it. I decided I would network that NV Energy. So I'm a certified rep. I don't install. I'm a certified rep. I want to tell you the benefits of having it and getting a backup battery for it. You know, that Tesla battery, you can store your unused energy. There's a lot of advantages to having solar. So don't forget your nephew, well, to many of you, I'm an uncle, but contact Unc, man. Let Unc show you some information. So buying, selling, investing, solar, and Legal Shield. I'm also using Legal Shield. It's another one that I thought was important to put in my portfolio is the Legal Shield. Now, those of you that own a business, listen, I pay about $50 a month for Legal Shield. Legal Shield is giving me an attorney. Instead of having to pay a retainer when I need him for something, I pay a monthly service. So whenever I need it, guess what? I just call them up. Somebody said something they were disgruntled about and wrote me a nasty letter. I gave it to I called my attorney and they called me right back and said, yes, Mr. Deville, how can we help? When they finished that letter, I never heard from that person again. So I'm just saying, rather than paying those $1,000 and $1,500 deposits for retainers, you could pay it $50 a month. So I'm also incorporating the solar, the real estate, and the Legal Shield because I think these things work together. If you're a business owner, trust me, like you got insurance, you want to have an attorney at your disposal. Okay, so at $50 a month, I think it's $52. Real easy stuff, right? We pay more than that I think tips, we probably get that much in just tips, not the food. Tips alone in a couple of weeks, we spend over $50 in tips. So if you could pay that retainer for an attorney, you know what I'm saying, to just whenever you need it. And granted, I've been Legal Shield about 3 or 4 years. I've only used it twice. And that was one of them was just for a question. And the other one because somebody just a little disgruntled. Once the attorney made it plain, they were like, okay, I get it. Because I understand you ain't going to satisfy everybody. Some people are going to be difficult to deal with. I don't care what you do. You could do your best to be your best. And people they just got a problem. They just create drama. But listen, you got something for the drama. All right? Don't try me. Try Jesus. Because we got something to hold you. All right, Las Vegas, I love you. Have a good week. I'll talk to you again next Thursday, 702.5 FM. This is what we do every Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m. Share this on Facebook. Tell somebody. Give the information out. Give my personal phone number. Tell him Deville told me to tell you to call him. If you got a nephew, a cousin in them, Keisha in them, Pookie in them, tell him, call Deville. Deville said if you've been on your job at least 2 years, he can get you a house. Now, it might take some work, but we're going to get you started. Let's get you pointed in the right direction, okay? So until I talk to you next Thursday, share this on Facebook, tell a friend. Remember, whether buying, selling, or investing, Deville Realty can help. I'm Greg Deville. I look forward to talking to you soon. Until then, may God's best be yours. Take care.